Cats cannon low. We spill the tea, we spill the wine. And the stories it goes in half a mind. We laugh, we cry, we overstand too long. Podcast now every now. Just double the crutch. Double Trouble Live. With twice the mess. Double Trouble Live. No stress, just yes. We got hot takes, bad breaks, and zero two. Double Trouble Live. Coming at you for the thrill. Oh yeah. Double Trouble Live.
Now offered at the Great Race Place. $3 late pick 3 featuring the last 3 races. $5 late double on the last 2 races. Both with a player-friendly 15% takeout. Every race day at Santa Anita Park.
Muted again. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Double Trouble Live. This is our 3rd show in a row. I don't know why StreamYard mutes our mics randomly. Kieran is still muted. I'm Frank Scaccione. I am with the Chief Gambling Officer of Double Trouble Live, Kieran Thornton. Kieran, you're back in the studio. What's up, my man?
Yeah, finally, good internet, and I'm back. I've got all my tools in front of me, not like a tin can and string with a laptop that keeps crashing and tablet that falls over. Yikes.
It's technology. It's great when it works. It's awful when it fails. Let me get the show started by this, because we always forget to pat ourselves on the back and toot our own horns. So how about this?
By royal decree, like and subscribe to Double Trouble Live on YouTube.
Now, for those who are new to the show, that is King Kieran, king of the all-turf pick 3. Unfortunately, he has not been the king of the all-turf pick 3, but he's been doing okay in the other bets. So yeah, I would imagine we're both alive in the all-turf, right? That started in race 5. We decided to do the show a little later for the pick 3, but the big favorite one, I'm guessing everyone's present and correct.
There was no doubt about that one. There was a scratch, and I kind of pivoted a little when I should have just left my bet in as it was, and I would have had the chalk another time on another one of my bets. But I went really light. I'm all about this race 7, the number 7, the little red feather horse. So if 7 goes down, I'm out of the all turf. And I thought today's card, even though it was chalky, Frank, I thought it was one where, I need to get out of the weekend. It's usually not a good excuse, but I was like, you know what? If there's a chalk, I'm just going to hammer it a couple of chalks and kind of spread a little and bet a little bit more. If I hit, I'm going to hit okay. And if I don't, well, I'll just come back in the pick 3 and the double. At least that's how I approach it.
Yeah, no, that's how we kind of play these bets anyway. We've talked about on the show a lot yesterday, that we view these not as necessarily separate bets and separate pools. We like to play them together because they are absolutely linked, and what happens in one determines your strategy in the other. We're going to get down to business because we don't have that middle dirt race to time to kill when we do the all turf. So we got 3 races in a row. Before that, though, I just want to get out of the way, Kieran's least favorite part of the show. Let's go to the audience. Good luck today, DTL Crew. Making stacks. Thank you, Steven. You're always the first to join the chat. I really appreciate that. Dan H., what's up, guys? Yeah, Dan H. and Kieran are killing Vegas on the Frank Mute bet. Cashes. Again, Kevin Doherty, good luck.
If there was a low takeout on that bet, I would take it every day, but it's not a low takeout. But it's a profitable bet lately. Betting Frank's going to mute for sure.
All right, and then real quick here, Nick Sievers likes the 7 in race 7. I think the 4 is very sneaky. We are going to get down to business in a little bit. Thanks for joining us, Nick. Always a pleasure to have you on the show as well. Ray Gastelum reposted our stream. Ray, thank you. Check is in the mail. And then here we go. Arthur, hey guys, happy Sunday. Alive to the 3 and the 7 in the all turf. Excellent. Do you have a graphic with your all turf so we can see who to root for going forward? Let's do that real quick, and then we'll talk
one up earlier. Hang on, let me find it here. Where did I put it?
Yeah, I'm going to throw mine up right there. I'm all
was
about
my
the 3. Kieran's all about the 7 in this leg. I'm all about the 3.
yeah. I mean, the last ticket, I had more spread, with the 7. I need the 7 in this leg, and then went pretty tight on one ticket. I went 18 all. I was like, you know what? Today's been chalky, and it looked like it was chalky. I mean, you saw what the pick 5 paid today, right, Frank? $15.
$15. Yeah. I mean, hey, but if you
So
have
I
it
was
1,000 times, it's a pretty good day.
Yeah, so I was like, I got to hit it a little bit more. And I got to support, the little red feather horse there later than planned. Billy was actually on Quigley's show today talking about that. And, for you guys who didn't hear, Rispoli fell at Gulfstream yesterday. He's going to be out for a while. He had surgery this morning. So Tiago is picking up the mounts now. So we're going to start seeing Tiago right at the right time. He had a hot day yesterday, Frank, and now he's he's going to be jumping on Phil's horses here for a while. So he might really start getting hot.
We talked about him for sure. I don't know why the graphic's not working where it's covering out faces, but Kieran needs the 1-3-6-2. I'm sorry, he was alive with the 1. He needs the 7. I need the 3, but I also have the 7 on a backup ticket as well. Let us know who you guys like. Let's see. I know Nick mentioned the 7 in race 7, which is Kieran's horse. He thinks the 4 is very sneaky.
Well, that was
no love for Hey Nay Nay, huh, Kieran? What's going on? I think the horse wins by a city block.
Well, that's my all turf bet. Now I came back and I've got more coverage on the pick 3. So if you look here on the pick 3, my higher tickets are with the 7 and kind of spready, but I've also got 3, 4, 5, 2, starting this leg. And, I can double up on a couple of tickets, but I've also got some backups as well in different legs. So I figured, I've got the all turf covered one way. Yeah. I can use the pick 3 here a different way.
I love this, Kieran, because we are a live wagering show. We put our money where our mouths are. We don't just say why we like a horse and talk about the horse. We show you how we are using the horse. And again, we talk about playing the late pick 3 and the double as one bet. You're playing the all-turf pick 3, the late pick 3, and the double as one bet because you just said you knew that you were going to come back in the late pick 3 and you could afford to spread there a little bit because you knew you were going to be alive to your single 7 in leg 2 of the all-turf. Sorry if it gets confusing with all the different legs, but we group them as one big bet.
Yes, it's one big bet across all 3 races, and you can hammer a thing you're more confident in with the pick 3, or you can come back and go, you know what, I can spread a little bit more. So that's how I approached it today. And then I'm spreading in the second leg on one of the tickets, and I'm tight in one, and I'm looking for prices in the last leg, but I'm also looking for the chalk to possibly win as well. So I've got enough options where I think with all my coverage, if it chalks out, I should be able to get a decent profit today. At least that's how I planned it.
While we have your thing up there with the late pick 3, let's stay on that because I want to talk a little bit about the next race, which I thought was, pretty tricky. I don't feel very confident in that race. So I'm using 5 horses.
Yeah.
But on different tickets. My A's on one ticket, right. My B's on the other, and I still don't feel confident getting out.
Yeah. I mean, it was one of those things like I made Berlin Wall the Tiago Knapp horse, my reluctant top knot in there. And then my second choice is Keating Thunder, at Hara for Galvin. I mean, it's a huge jockey upgrade and he's already connected for this, small stable already on a price. But then I also thought, it could be one of those races where we get a price. So, I mean, I've bet Crypto Ride a lot of times. Diego's riding for that small stable. You've got Team Player with KK, who's on fire. My one concern with that one, when the number 5 was no work since December. And I was like, but how do I toss a KK? And then I got, the sneaky one, Majestic Palisades, Aguilar for Lee. And they're 2 for 2. And as we know, I mean, the interesting stat with Lee, Frank, is he's winning 43%, but Lee is one of those trainers. His horses either win or they're looking for an Uber. So, you know what I mean? Like he
either win by 10 or they're looking for an Uber.
Yeah. I mean, he'll either win the race or his horse is going to be off the board. So when you use, his horses, you got to know that, he's either going to win or it's going to be nowhere. So you got to have that in your mind. And then how do you not throw in a Glad horse off the claim and Ricky's riding for him that stolen treasure? So, it could go chalky, but we could see some crazy prices in there too. I mean,
yeah. So for those who may be new to the show, Kieran, in addition to being a degenerate like us, he's also an owner. So he can call Librado Barosio by his Lee. So he was talking about the 6 horse, Librado Barosio's horse, Lee. Oh, and KK. Of course, that's Kaz Kimura. Kieran's on a first name and nickname basis with everyone in the industry, unlike me, who I call them by their full and proper name. But yeah, that's a tough race, Kieran. I'm looking at your second play up there, 215-647. I'm not too far off. I have coverage to the 273518. The only difference is you're all in on the 7 here. I'm all in on the 3. So it'll be very interesting to see what happens. Who gets the spread coverage in that next leg, and then in the last, we'll roll through real quick before we go back to the comments.
And the last leg, Frank. I mean, the last leg is also another difficult one, but
very tough. Yeah,
the stats though, the stats tell you it won't be difficult because the favorites have won. It's only been run 13 times, but 7 of the winners have been favorites. But you've also got some horses in there that could blow things up as well. So I mean, you can see on one of my tickets, I think the Glad horse is going to be the favorite in there, Esso. So
that's what I was going to say, Karen. The race might be won by favorites, but who's going to be the favorite? Like, this is a tough race, right?
One of those. I mean, I ended up landing on Esso because it was Rispoli, but I think who hopped on now? I know the change.
It's Lascano now, Abel Lascano.
Okay, well, I mean, that's Glad's go-to guy as well. When he needs.
Yeah, he uses them a lot. Yep.
Yeah, so I mean, it's not. As you know, you're going to get a good Glad or you're not, and it really is not going to matter. So.
Yeah, I had a hard time with that race as well. If you look, I have 3 A's in that race, and I have a backup B as the 9. Who do you have there? You have 7, 8, 5, 9.
Yeah, I mean, so, I liked, and I mean, probably a reason you didn't use them, but I had to throw in Dinkum. KK's riding for O'Neill, and their stats are pretty horrendous, Frank. They're 2 of 23, but they're both heating up, and I like seeing a hot trainer and a hot jockey when they've been both cold with each other. Eventually they're going to start, cracking it.
My problem is, Kieran, I'm so stubborn about this. I can't bet first timers going long on the turf. I just can't do it. You did it over the summer with a Mark Glad horse who won, and then you did it again with another horse who ran a very good second. So you seem to have an eye for the types of horses who at least fire in these races. My brain doesn't work that way. I say this has got to be a condition. Lap around the track, come back next time. But you're going to get a good price on the horse, I would imagine.
I mean, all of those horses. I mean, I've got different tickets. Like I liked House of Mischief with Frey from McCarthy, the top closer, and they get the Lasix juice. And then I wasn't going to use Saharan, but I was like, how can I not use a Mullins horse when JJ's on for him? And JJ's starting to get on a little bit of a heater, and they're adding Lasix. And when Mullins calls JJ, it's go time. They're 2 or 3 recently. So I was like, all right, I got to add that one too. So that's why you see kind of crazy tickets with prices in a leg, and then, some of them with a favorite in the next. So I'm hoping I can catch on a couple of tickets.
I make fun of Kieran for like writing a novel with some of these tickets, but you know what? He's absolutely playing them the correct way. If you try to play a caveman with these, you're betting inefficiently. Correct. You're making your A opinion the same as your B opinion, and that's not correct. So you need to be able to carve it out like this. But the thing about this is we were very hesitant at first when we started playing these bets. We weren't sure how much we wanted to spend, how many different tickets we wanted to make, because we didn't know what kind of value there was in the bets. But after playing it, and you made this point, Karen, you said, whenever there's a new bet, I like to kind of see what the payouts are, and then I know how much I can invest, because we have seen over and over again the late pick 3 payout. Yesterday it was 118% more than the win parlay. So you can afford to spend money and be creative, because if you connect, you are going to get paid.
And even though, I mean, I've kind of made my budget, I want to be 150 or under on all of these bets, but we've kind of talked off camera too, where I've said the pays are pretty good where you can actually go more on that if you do this kind of ticket structure where you're hammering a chalk, a couple of times, or you're hammering your opinion a couple of times, and you look at yesterday. I mean, that pick 3 yesterday with our call a guest, Rob, who showed up, $1,800 for that pick 3 yesterday, 1842. What a number.
Unbelievable. And speaking of that, I made something funny, and then we're going to go to the crew for their comments. And then Kieran, while we're doing the crew, I want you to pull up the will pays and all that fun stuff, because we always like to look at that. But this is just something, for those who didn't see the show yesterday, Kieran was at the racetrack. He was able to get one of our good friends and one of the best handicappers and horse players we know, Radar Rob, to come on and do the show. He absolutely crushed it, gave out the $1,800 late pick 3. We all talked about pivoting to Queen Sienna in the first leg that started everything. I was married to the 7. You were married to the 10. But we all talked about the 6, right? So
our horses ran so bad yesterday, Frank. It was kind of shocking to me how bad they ran.
No. I mean, I've been a little cold. I'm not going to lie. But here, check this out.
Tough race. Let's phone a friend. Yes, Radar Rob.
So Kieran's got Radar Rob on speed dial. If we ever need someone to bail us out,
yes, and I did give him a warning. I was like, you know what? You're going to be our mystery guest. We'll give you a heads up. But when we've got a difficult car, we're going to give you a call. He's like, all right, I'm for it. So,
all right. So real quick, you pull up the will pays. Let me roll through and see who everybody else likes. Nick, we already mentioned, likes the 7, thinks the 4 is sneaky. Arthur,
the 4 is my sneaky one. I agree on that one.
On the 4.
Yes, I mean that was. I wish I had more coverage. If I kind of structured my
now.
Well, I got it now in this ticket, but I mean my notes on that horse is probably why he's landing on it too. Yaktine, this horse has won 2 in a row and has a win on the hill. And there's only 7 horses in this field, so I mean the inside. This is an okay spot for this horse. I mean, we're on the hill. Anything can happen.
Well, you're getting a good price at 6-1. Arthur is alive to the 3 and the 7 in the all turf. Good luck, Arthur. Haven't seen you in a while. Thank you. Welcome back. Good to see you back on the show. Jeff Knight, always around. Go Pats. Good for you, my man. Let's see. Good luck, DTL Crew. All right, Jay is back. Thank you, Jay. He's about the 2, 3, 4, 7 and the 1, 4, 5, 8 to finish the all turf. So he has my 3. He has your 7, but he also has the 4. And he has a little more coverage using the 2 there. That's a horse we didn't talk about, Kieran. And that horse is the 9-5 morning line choice, but dead on the board at 5-1.
Yeah, I mean, it was interesting. Even when I was just pulling up the will pays, Frank, like the pick 3, which is what we usually go to, the 3 is dominant at 1950. Then the 2 is at 35.80. And then we go to my 7 at 37. And I'm thinking if Rispoli was on the 7, we'd be getting, I think we're getting a better price because Tiago's on. But when I was texting Billy earlier, I was like, well, I asked him, who's going to go on, this morning before I hit the road. And he's like, Tiago. And I was like, well, that's not a bad guy to be putting on right now. He's on a heater. So, can't argue with that.
For those of you who don't know.
All right, RDW, thank you for joining us. Dan, he likes the 7 too. His concern is the pace. Yeah, but, I think Tiago knows that. I think Phil knows that. They're going to have to be aggressive, right? What are you going to do? Coast to coast, live in the coast to coast to the 3, 4, and 7. We like all of those. Okay, we got a lot of comments here. Keep going. Very impressed with Radar Rob. How about that?
You were asking about the number 2, the Baffert horse that's a little cold. Yeah. Probably because Bob's only 11% on the grass. But I will say this meet, and I think we talked about it, I've never seen Bob move so many horses to turf. He must be just milking these conditions maybe. I don't know. It seems Bob, like he's got more and more.
First name basis with Baffert, Bob.
Yeah. But he's,
Mr. Baffert to you, Kieran.
You would rarely see him, throw out so many turf horses, and he seems to be giving a lot of horses a shot on the turf these days. So
yeah, he's okay on turf, especially in sprints. It depends on the type of horse. I don't know. This always seems like an experiment to me. He ran the horse in a grade 2 on dirt and now shows up on turf. I was against the horse just like you were. Chris is alive to the 3 and the 7 on the coast to coast. Thank you for joining us, Chris. Good luck. Lot of peeps playing today after a long and fun day yesterday. It was a great day at both Gulfstream and Santa Anita. This is it. We're warriors, man.
Well, Frank,
DTL is Double Trouble Live crew, but it's also Degenerate crew.
looking into the next leg, Frank, it looks like the lowest pay right now is this 3 into the number 2, paying $12, and then it's going to be 3 into the 8 in the next leg at $16. So Berlin Wall, yeah, I'm not shocked about that. And Left Hand Man, the JJ Miller horse. I did not use it.
I have that horse on a backup ticket. I preferred others in that spot. But, you know, when
Although
Peter Miller horses take money, they're usually pretty live.
I guess Team Player has scratched. I think I had that on one of my tickets, correct? The 5.
Yeah, when did that happen?
Yeah, I don't know. I just looked over now. So Team Player, the number 5, has been scratched.
Yeah, the 5 is out. And
so
I
I might have to adjust the bet here.
Let me see. What do we have here? Yeah, I did. The 5 was my. No, hold on. 2-7. Yeah, the 5 was my first B in that second column there. But I have the 8 anyway, so I don't need to. I don't really need to do anything. I just get to save some money.
Yeah, I'm not going to do anything.
Cancel that ticket.
The amount of times when I cancel a ticket and then I try to put it in, and then the internet starts giving me that little swirl.
Well, we'll get the post-time favorite. Who do you think it's going to be? Is it going to be Berlin Wall or is it going to be Left Hand Man?
Ooh, I thought it was going to be Berlin Wall. Like if you put a gun to my head, I would just. I mean, I didn't even write notes on that one to tell you. I just thought Berlin Wall was. I thought that was. You know, if I had to single a horse, that was the one I was going to single.
Yeah, I think Berlin Wall is very talented. But you know, doing something the horse has never done before, right? Stretching out returns for the first time, so you don't know. But I've seen enough of that horse to know that that horse has ability. And Steve Knapp, he'll step out every once in a while, but he's not the kind of guy to throw a horse in a grade 1 just for fun, you know?
Correct.
He wanted to see really what he had because he knows that horse has ability. 2 minutes to post. Thank you, Jeff. Let me turn the volume on here so I don't miss going to the gate.
I mean, I get why Hey Nene is the favorite in here, but I mean, first time on the hill, you know, the first 2 races were 5 furlong sprint, and now cutting back from the, you know, last 3 races at a mile. So, I mean, I get why it's this price, but I thought the horse was still beatable, you know?
Steven, thank you for letting us know about the like and subscribe button. I don't even see it. I don't even know where it is. So we'll have to figure that out going forward. Really appreciate that. So small in the right corner. Okay. Yeah, I don't even see it on our screen. Here we go. They announced the scratch in the 5th race. See, this is why we need a crew here on, because we can't keep up on all this stuff.
Oh, I've got the like and subscribe over here on the mobile one. I can't. It doesn't seem to be popping up on the other one.
Oh, because I have it hidden here. Hold on. But I don't think that's the one he's talking about. I think there's another one that you and I can't see, but they can.
Oh, okay.
All right, they're going to the gate. Good luck, everybody. The consensus seems to be 3, 7, 2, and 4. 4 is a sneaky one. No one talked about anybody else. Good luck if you have action in here. Felipe Hernandez, what is this? Hey, thanks for the leans. First time starter, number 7 in the final. Excited to watch. All right. All right, they're off. Good luck, everybody. Oh my God, we did everything but win.
Wow.
Everything but win. Baffert. The other day we beat Baffert with Speedboat Beach down the hill, but we could not beat him twice in a row. 9-2 off a 9-5 morning line. Nobody believed. We didn't believe. Jay believed. Jay had the horse on his all turf.
Well, I don't have it on the all turf, but at least I've got it on my smaller pick 3 tickets.
Yeah, I have to see. I don't think I do. Maybe
yeah, I've got them at least on 2 tickets. I've got them with 2-1 in this next leg, with the 5 in the last, and then I've got them singling the 2 in the next leg with the 9 in the last. I don't have the kind of coverage I'd like, but I can come back and correct that with this late double. So I mean, that's the beauty of it.
Yeah, Kieran, this rarely happens. This week, right? Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I could go weeks without finding a horse to build a day around. I found one horse each day to build a day around that I absolutely loved. I love that O'Neill Harrow horse on Friday.
Yeah, did nothing.
Terrible, right? Built my whole day around that horse. No bueno. Yesterday was Take a Breath. I was able to pivot because we did the show, right? We landed on Queen Sienna on some backup stuff. But I mean, all my, 90% of my action was through Take a Breath. He ran well, but didn't win. And then today, I thought Hey Nay Nay, I thought was almost the mortal lock. And if it wasn't Hey Nay Nay, it was going to be your 7. And I was wrong again.
I thought Tiago, I mean, if we were live and I was doing a commentary and I was like, why are you so close, dude? You're supposed to be a little bit further back with that horse.
Well, that's funny. He overcompensated, right?
Yes.
Didn't Dan H mention the lack of pace and the horse's run style concerned him a bit? So maybe Tiago overcompensated, and that ended up costing the horse. You know what? I'm done with Hey Nay Nay. I beat Hey Nay Nay a couple of times around 2 turns because the come-home times for that horse were not very good, going a mile. I thought for all the world, like this was it. 6.5 down the hill for a horse with route speed, cutting back, Sadler.
Yeah.
I thought Hey Nay Nay was
now, and the other shocker in there is it just seemed like later than planned. Didn't want to pass the winner. You know what I mean?
That's a good point, actually.
I was like, may have actually, if the 2 hadn't swooped in, might have, but that was when you saw it there, you're like, all right, if this horse has anything, it's going to smoke him. And
you're
it
right.
Just looked like I don't want to pass.
That's a very good point because the 7 had every chance to pass the other horse. The other 2 were going to pass him anyway, but didn't show the fight that you wanted to see. So
that would be a note for me, Frank. The next race, I would have a little note that would say, rewatch the race replay, but might be a horse that doesn't like to win. I don't know.
Or here's the thing. I mean, Phil's no dummy. I bet he puts blinkers on next time.
That's true.
This horse has been racing without blinkers. You put the blinkers on, maybe you don't see the other horse. You run your race. Like they got right up to the horse and was just like, "Hey, buddy, hey, how's it going? Hey, how was your day yesterday?" Like he didn't show that fight,
Well, Frank, this pick 3, the fact that the 2 morning line favorites, essentially, the 3 went down, and a lot of us thought the 7 was going to be the backup one. This could be a nice pick 3 today if you're able to connect on the legs. I don't have as much coverage as I'd like.
Or you're talking about the late pick 3?
The late pick 3. I mean, we got 9-2 to start the first leg off, which is not too shabby.
But the horse was 9-5 on the morning line, so.
True.
So who do you have? You want to throw your bet back up real quick?
Yeah, I'm essentially down to 2 horses in this one. I've got the bottom 2 tickets there. I've got 2-1 with the 5 in the next leg, and I've got 2 with the 9 in the next leg.
So let's see. Out of the all turf, right? Just let's start.
Correct. All turf is.
Okay. So we're both gonzo in that one. So then you have 7. Okay, the last 2 are alive for you, right? 2-1, but really the 2. because then you'd be alive on both tickets going into the last.
Correct.
Okay, so yeah, you got some coverage here. The 2 and the 1.
And it's
Nice
it's not
job,
bad. I
Keon.
mean, I ended up, that was my last ticket because I was like, we talked earlier. It's like, how do I leave JJ and Mullins off a ticket? So that was, that kind of coverage and all this. I threw everyone in, and then I was singling my single in this upcoming leg. But I still have coverage in the doubles, but we got to see what the pays are. If the pays aren't enough, I might have to ditch one or press it a little bit more. So we're still got a little bit of time. I mean, I do not have left-hand man, and I think I'm going to not use them. I'm just going to stick to my guns, and if I go down, I go down, is what my opinion is.
You know what? You're an adult. You make your own decisions. That's totally fine. But we're going to go through the exercise and look at the probables and the will pays and all that fun stuff. Yeah, I'm with you, Nick. I think off the 9 to 5 morning line, I think a lot of people use that horse, even though the win money was great value in the win pool. But I think a lot of players who are putting their ticket together are going to throw that horse in and say, I'm not getting beat by a 9 to 5 Baffert in the first leg. But hey, easy for me to say, I don't have it. So, good. Congrats to everybody who has the horse. Froggy Mushroom, thank you for joining us. All right, let's look at the will pays and all that fun stuff. King Kieran, no longer king of the all turf, but he is alive in the late pick 3.
So the double into this leg, Frank, the favorite is the 2 at $35. That's sitting at 5-1 right now. And the next highest is the 8 at $51.60, Frank, on the double.
Ooh, wow.
So that's a little bit interesting there. And then let's look at the pick 3, because that's usually where we see everything. In the pick 3, the 2 is 81.80 and the 9 is 91.20. So I don't think we're going to continue to see this 2 at 5-1, as we get closer to post time. But it's interesting that we have, I guess, all the early money just dumped on the 8. We'll have to see if it continues in the next 15, 20 minutes.
3-2 on the 8. That is shocking to me.
I mean, there's only 22,000 in the pool so far, Frank.
I know, but that's barn money. That's Peter Miller money. When Peter Miller horses get back like that, they typically run very, very well. That's not sophisticated computer money. That's
the early, yeah.
Yeah, that's the barn money. They like their horse today. And yeah, I mean, the horse absolutely figures. I'm kind of surprised you didn't even give the horse a look, Kieran. Just beat a couple of these last time. I mean, I like the horse less than the others, but I had the horse on a backup ticket.
I mean, it was probably, I'm looking back at it, Rispoli was originally riding for, and then it's probably why, I jumped off, because they've been kind of cold together for the last 5. They just not been doing very well together. And then I also thought Miller played this horse off Papa during the summer. Yeah. And the horse, I mean, it was almost like he Papa Drum got rid of it at the right time. And I don't think Miller can turn it around, is what I was thinking.
But I think that last race was a wake-up call. And the horse is a dirt horse. And, there's 2 dirt races sandwiched in the middle there. I think that horse is live. I think that horse will fire. What kind of trip is the horse going to get, right? Going to have to go for position, but doesn't really like to be too close to the pace. Like, that was more of a concern for me. Like, I didn't think the race flow or the post benefited that horse. But then again, like we said, this is a tough race. I think a lot of these can win. I think Berlin Wall is the most talented horse in the race, just from an ability standpoint. But we don't know if the horse is going to move forward or regress or run the same kind of race going around 2 turns for the first time.
They tried that turf experiment, a couple of weeks ago. But if we went back to November at Del Mar, the horse won by 7. You know what I mean?
Right.
Around this level, and then the horse was second by nose, and then dominated. So what do? They took a swing at the Malibu. I mean, can you blame them on opening weekend? And then probably couldn't find the right condition, and then here they are back again. And the one thing is, they're not risking the horse for a claim, so it's not like they put it back down here, to clean the barn out. They're just going back.
Here's the thing: we always talk about conditions, right, Kieran? There is a new condition where, if you look, this horse already cleared the Calbred N1X, right?
Correct.
So that was in a sprint race. Now, for the last couple of years, if you clear it, if you clear your condition on the dirt, you're allowed to run on the turf at the same condition, right?
Yes.
So that's why they tried turf, because they could do it. And vice versa. If you clear it on the turf, the dirt is still open to you. They just added a new wrinkle now. If you clear it sprinting on the dirt, you can now be protected in a route race. So now they're trying a route, right? So they tried the turf, that didn't work out. Now they're going to try a route. If the route doesn't work out, where is this horse going to run next?
Yeah.
Going to have to run for a claimer or face open company, and that's going to be tough. So I think they're like praying that this horse takes to 2 turns, because things then become a little tricky from a condition book standpoint. But if you look at the conditions of the form, it doesn't tell you that. I only know that because we follow Southern California,
Right.
and we look at the condition book. We get the
find
info.
some. I mean, they've been Santa Anita and Del Mar have been really, really good at how they've been writing conditions. Like they are so for the horsemen. They want these horses to race. They're going to give them every opportunity to put checks in the bank.
Yeah, I muted it because my executive producer was giving me some feedback there. Nick Sievers thinks the 2 might be distance limited. Yeah, that's what we were talking about. Not the kind of horse you want to find out at a short price, but also the most talented horse in the race, right? So who do you like, Nick? Tell us who you like.
The other one I liked as well, Frank, that I have, my backup on the ticket that's alive is the number 1, Keating Thunder. Fresh face. I talk a lot about it on the show. Like some horses, I'm like, I would really upgrade this horse, not bashing a jockey, just, I think it needs a fresh face. And here we go.
Right.
This horse has had the same jockey for every single race, and now they're throwing Hera on, and he's already won for this trainer already. So I'm like, all right, I like this move. And that, that was my second choice in this race.
Well, it's that time in the show where we need to start talking about the late double, my man. And I'm going to have to Venmo you some money because I think we depleted our community pool yesterday.
Pool is on life support. It's all gone. and it's not like we were, I mean, in retrospect, Frank, we actually would probably have more money in our community tickets, but we've been structuring the community tickets to hedge our alive tickets as well. You know what I mean? And kind of toss away ones. So we would be winning a lot more if we weren't hedging the way.
That is very true. You know what? Let's play this one to win. How about that?
All right.
Because you know what? I'm not alive to anything, and I just want to win.
Okay.
So let's play this one to win. I'm writing down. So in my pick 3 that I'm now out of, in this middle leg, I had the 1, 2, 5, 7, 8. And then in my last, I'm just writing numbers down. And in the last leg, I would have been alive to 3, 4, 5, 9. Obviously, I'm not going to play all those doubles, but all right, Kieran. So you're 1 and the 2 here, right? Top 2 picks?
Yeah, I've got 1 and 2 in here, and my tickets, they're all, they're both $3 pick 3s. And on one ticket, with the 1-2, I'm alive to what I think will be the favorite in the next, the 5, the Glad Horse. And on the other ticket, I'm alive with just the 2 here, with the JJ horse on the outside there with Shaharan or something like that, the 9.
So, Saharian, yeah. So to your point, I'm looking at the probables, right? So the 8 to the 5 in the next is the current double favorite at $60.
Okay.
So it looks like the 5 probably will go off favorite in the next leg if this money holds. The next one would be the 4 at 86, then the 3 at 98, and then the 8 at 107. So after the 5, the other ones are all kind of pretty close. They'll maybe give a little nod to the 4, and then there's 4 horses who are paying similar prices.
I mean,
so
even
an open race.
Even the chalky chalk is a decent pay. I mean, you said, what was it, $60-something right now?
Yep.
I think we'll probably, when all is said and done, when we get down there, it's going to be in the 50s, which is a healthy, if if you've got enough conviction on a chalk here and it's paying $50 for $5, you could really get some. You're getting a lot of extra oomph out of that bet.
All right, so let's. I'm calling up my matrix. I don't want to, because I pivoted away from doing the double in advance because my main focus has been on the pick threes. Right? We talk about having the double bet be informed by what you did in before. So I'm looking at my A's, Kieran, in this leg, and I was 2-7. Did you have the 7 at all?
In this leg?
Yeah.
Stolen Treasure. Yes, I had it. I had it on a spread ticket.
Okay, so
My
if I had to pick a horse in here, I would want to use the 7. So right now, I think we're using the 1, 2, and 7 for sure, right?
1, 2, 7. Okay, 1, 2, 7. And if I if I had to pick a long shot in here, Frank, it would be the one I talked about earlier. Lee, if he's going to hit, he's going to hit, or my horse is going to finish last, and the price.
You don't have to pick a long shot, Kieran. I want to pick. Let's pivot away from the obvious and long shot one. Let's just play it to hit it. Don't worry about what you're alive to.
I do not have 8. Make an argument for me to use the 8, Frank, other than it knocking me out of my bets. Do you want to use the 8?
We will price out the 8 with who we like in the next leg, okay?
All right.
And what number was the Lee horse?
Lee horse is the 6, Majestic Palisades.
Okay, 6. Okay, and the 5 is out, so we don't have to worry about the 5. So let's talk about the next race. Let me tell you who my A's were in the matrix. Staying true to form here. My A's were in order of preference, Kieran, 5, 4, 3, and then my 9 was a B. So we both agree that the 5 has to be on the ticket.
Correct. And you went 5, 4, 3 in the last. I went. I did do it a little. I mean, I threw the 3, 4 back just because I thought 5 was going to be the dominant, and I made 7, 8, 9. But as I said earlier, I was kind of swinging to get paid today, so that's kind of why I downgraded the 3 and 4, because I wanted to do more action around horses I thought were prices.
And I love that thinking, but you already did that in the bets that you're alive to. So,
Correct.
let's pretend this is a fresh bet. We're just playing the late double.
Okay.
We're not alive to anything. We just walked into the racetrack. We're playing the late double for our peeps, and we want to hit it, and we want it to reflect our strongest opinion.
Well, for another reason I downgraded the 4, which is crazy to say, is KK hopped off, and I mean you get Hera, but I even mentioned, I think, on the show yesterday, he's been so hot that I think it's eventually going to cool off. So that was another reason I kind of It's probably going to be to my detriment, if you know what I mean. But I was looking for reasons to downgrade certain horses, and that's why I downgraded that 4.
So in order of preference, don't even factor in price or anything. In order of preference, most likely winner. I think we both agree the 5 is the one, right?
Correct. Yes.
And then after that, what do you have?
I ended up making the 7, the KK O'Neill horse, and
okay, wow.
just because the workouts, and I thought I was going to get a decent price because I thought a lot of people would be, like you, Frank. I'm not betting O'Neill first turf, because his numbers are horrendous, but. Hot dude, hot trainer and a hot jockey, and and the horse has been burning up the mornings.
All right. Well, you tell me who you want to use in the second leg. The 7 for sure.
I say if I had to pick a horse, I would say the 7, Frank, for me.
Okay. So let's put that 7 down. I think we should narrow in this leg.
Yes.
Because I wrote down 1, 2, 6, 7, 8 to the 5 and the 7.
We can ditch my crazy horse because I already have the crazy. I've got it in a double my own double going forward. But for, like you said, for our thing, we'll just do this bet like we're doing the bet without taking any consideration of our individual bets this time.
Correct. So, that's what I want to try and see how it works out.
So for this leg, Frank, if we were looking at the chalk that we don't have in this leg, Frank, the 8 to the 5 is paying $60, which is pretty healthy. And the 8 to the 7 is paying $152. So if we were just doing the chalk in here, to the 5, 8 to 5, we could do it for $15, and we'd be looking at 3 times 60, $180, Frank. And because the 8 to the 7 is paying $150, we wouldn't have to spend a whole lot on it. We could just spend $5 on that one.
On that one, yeah. Okay, so we're going to use the 8. Are we using the 2 or no?
We both said this was going to be the top horse in here, so I think we have to use the 2. And the 2 into the 5 is paying $72, Frank.
Okay. And what's 2-7?
And 2 to the 7 is $185.
$185. Now, since I'm not alive to anything, I could do this on my own. Actually, you know what? I'll do it on my. I was going to use the 7, but I could do my own double with the 7.
Okay.
So let's go 2-8 with 5-7. So what is the 8-5 paying?
8-5 is paying 180-ish.
8-5?
For $15. Sorry. For $5, it's paying 60.
Yeah. It's going to be 5 and 8-7 for 5.
You want to do 8-7 for $5? All right, let me look.
Yeah, what is 8-7? No, what is it?
Oh, 8-7 is 8 with 7 is $149.
Okay. I would do a $10 double, 2-8 with 7, and then a $20 double. I'm sorry, 2-8 with 5-7. Sorry. $10 double, 2-8 with 7, and then a $20 double, 2-8 with 5. Does that make sense?
Done. And then you said a $20 double, 2-8 with 5?
Yeah. And I think that reflects the combination of our opinion. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, and I mean, it's also us. The pays are decent enough using a chalk in here that we both. Well, I tossed, and I'm like, all right.
The Miller's live. We have to use the horse. But the whole point of doing the live wagering show is to use the information that's available to us, right? So $20 double, 2-8 with 5. I'm putting it up for the crew, so that's $40, right?
Correct.
And then a $10 double, 2-8 with Kieran 7, which is actually taking money. I'm surprised that's not like $500. The fact that it's only like 150 means it's kind of sneaky.
Yeah, and again, we kind of saw this at Del Mar as well, Frank. When the pays are like this, you end up getting even more. Like I think when we do the win parlay later on the pick 3 and the double, I think while there is a 3-2 horse in here, I think the money is spreading around a lot because we can see what the doubles are paying. Even the chalk is paying pretty decent on the next leg. So
I have to play a double, Kieran. So can you just help me out real quick too? What is the 2-3 paying?
You got 5 minutes just to give you a heads up. So 2 to the 3 is paying 113.
2 to the 4,
96.
And 2 to the 5, I forget what
66.
72. 7 to the 3,
174.
That's good. 7-4,
236.
And 7-5.
97.
97. Okay. All right. Now, I'm going to put my double play up if you want to go through the chat or look at the wheel play, whatever you want to do.
I kind of have the same horses with you because I've got like a smaller ticket, just a $5 with my 1, 4, 5, 6, 7 with 7, 8, 9. It's $75, but like if a 1-7 comes in, it's $300. You know what I mean? Like I'm leaving my doubles that I put up earlier up, Frank, because I like the pays. Especially
that's what I was going to ask you. Are you going to pivot on your double at all, or are you fine?
I'm going to leave my doubles the same, and I'm just going to go with our pivot being what we did on the show is going to be my pivot.
Okay. So here I'm just putting mine up because I like the 7 as an A, so I have to have the 7. So basically, what I'm doing is I'm playing my A's, my AA double combinations that I had in my pick 3 because I'm out. So that would be 30. So yeah, I'm going to spend $90. To come back and play the same horses I had in my now defunct pick 3, but in my double. So let me make sure I got this right. Add banner. We are fully accountable here, ladies and gentlemen. It's not how many winners you select. It's how much money you walk home with at the end of the day. So Frank, $20 double, 2 with 3, 4, 5. and then coming back $10 double 7 with 3, 4, 5. So right, 3 times 20 is 60. 3 times 10, 30, 90. Okay, got it. We're in. How about this? Saw Billy Koch on Quigley's show. Great chance to win.
Actually, Frank, there is a mild pivot I need to do here, Frank, because
Okay, go ahead.
I did my bets earlier, and I'm going to get refunded $15 because
That scratch the 5.
yes, 5 scratch. So on my pivot, I'm going to spend that $15, and I'm going to use the left-hand man with 7, 8, 9. The lowest pay on that is $115, but it covered that bet. So
In a double?
yes.
Okay. So, Kieran, did Billy mention anything to you about the 1 in the 9th race? He did Quigley's
Yes,
show today.
I did. I asked about both and who was going to be riding. Let me see what he said.
Yeah, live Miller horses. I mean,
I mean, you ask Billy, it's not like they're going to ever hedge with you. And they really like the horse. That I know. And, you know, Phil's great at doing stuff. But I think what they're hoping is the horse that they see working out in the morning, the light bulb goes off and it shows up during the afternoon.
The ultimate equipment change, right? Because the horse's form.
And that's actually, I mean, I looked really hard at putting that one in. And, you know, my guy Diego's on, you know, and I usually love that angle of gelding because, you know, we had a similar horse, Arrakis, who kind of, you know, worked out fantastic in the mornings. And then it came to race day and the horse was just like scared of the other horses. Ultimate equipment change, and that horse, you know, absolutely totally different horse.
So that's very good info. They're at the starting gate. Real quick, the 9. Looks like Jay is using the 9 on one of his tickets here. I did not come up with the 9, but good luck to you, Jay. He has some of the other horses we have. Nick says the 4 could go wire to wire. Scary.
Crypto ride? Yes.
Yeah, could go. Yeah, I thought class, you know, sometimes I'm a little stubborn about class hikes and whatnot. But yeah, I mean,
I've got the 4.
I mean, mitigate that.
The will pays on the 4 to the 5, Frank, is $914. Oh, that would be juicy. That the 4 to the 7 is $1,600, to the 8 is $959, and the 9 is $23.
Wow.
Oh, that's not too shabby. $5.
They're in the gate. Good luck, everybody. Let's get this one home for the DTL crew, for Kieran, and for myself, and for everybody else who has the same horses as we do. And if it's not us, we hope it's you. That is a nice horse. We said we were going to find out today just how good that horse is.
And I mean,
Wow.
Frank said it perfectly. Berlin Wall waves goodbye. Adios.
Frank's the best.
Yep.
I like the way we did that, Karen. I think going forward, we got away from the DTL.
I'm glad you brought it up because, you know, we were joking about how we spent all our money, but last month
we were
or two,
hedging, which was stupid.
we've been hedging when we should have been just playing it as a totally different bet and not taking into account what we're doing.
We should have been exactly playing it fresh, as if the two of us had just shown up at the racetrack and said, "Hey, let's put our double together." And just, it doesn't matter what you're allowed to, what I'm allowed to.
What else we've also been doing, Frank, is when we've been doing that bet, we've been like, well, that 8-2 is only paying $78. No, we're not going to do it because we've got our other tickets, when we should have been saying, well, we're only spending $40 on our community ticket. We just doubled our money. So, yes, we're pivoting on our pivot bet.
Well, we're repivoting because that was your idea to do it. And then we got away from it because we were alive and we're like, well, we got to figure out and we started hedging and it was just silly. And then we were like, oh, what's your long shot? What's my long shot? No, let's just play the hit it.
And we always tell people, you know, if you're not adjusting and learning something new, I mean, we're as old as the hills and we're still changing how we approach horse racing. That should tell you, you don't know everything. We're always looking for new angles and something new to do. And you always got to be tweaking, because when you don't start tweaking your stuff, you're going to get left behind.
Kieran, the day you walk in the track and think you know everything is the day you should quit the game, because this game is unforgiving. It is punishing, and if you become arrogant and think you know it all, you are going to.
Hey, Frank, look who had a huge ride. That's 6, Majestic, Lee's horse. I think if that horse had gotten a little bit of room, I mean, without the 2 in there.
No, it wasn't going to beat the 2, but absolutely outran
like a monster ride. And like we said, that's actually, I think, the first time Lee's finished in the money with, you know, like usually they don't act like that. And you know what that tells me? He is probably one of the most streaky, small, stable trainers there are. So you absolutely have to take a strong look at any of his horses right now. His horses are firing really, really well.
That's a great point. He doesn't have a lot of stock, but he seems to have dates circled in the condition book, right? So he's
correct.
We talk about this all the time. Trainers go through cycles. You get your barn ready because you look at the condition book and you have everybody firing on all cylinders. You win those races. Now what? You're out of conditions. You got to figure out what the next spots are. So you try this one. It doesn't work out. You try that one. But, well, Kieran, here's the thing. Like, if we're not super effective players, we very rarely play the try unless it's the last race and we just want some action. But if we had tossed the 8 there, who neither one of us really liked.
No.
Your long shot came in. My stolen treasure came in. Keithing Thunder, who we both like, came in. And the 2. I mean, we could have had that 6 ways to Sunday. I don't know what it paid, but, just something to consider.
Paid 84. The try was 208. But, I mean, we would have done so much hedging. We would have spent, you know what I mean? I'm okay without that.
I'm okay with it, too. But my point was, like, I think we let the money on the 8, like, sway us a little bit.
When in the morning I was like, I'm kind of off the horse, and it seems like even though Miller is kind of hot,
no, he's cold. He's cold.
Yeah, he was looking like he was going to heat up, and then all of a sudden stopped. And then, I mean, the other reason why I hadn't used the 8, not to harp on it, was just because he had taken the horse off Papa, and if Papa got rid of the horse, what's Miller going to do? Hey, so
right. I mean,
we can see where the money is, Frank. Let's look at the double. So the double right now, the favorite is the 5, paying $70, Frank. That's really good. $70. I thought it would have dropped.
Hold on, let me refresh give me a second to refresh my screen here, because I want to look at the win odds while you're going through that. Okay, the 5 is, go ahead. So start over. I'm sorry.
I'm saying the $5 double right now is paying 70. I actually thought that was going to drift down into the 50s. So that went up. So 70 is the favorite on the double at 70.50. The next highest is the 4 at $85. Then we go to the 3 at 107, and the 8, the Frey horse, 114.50, Frank. So the 8 did get a little bit of sneaky
where
money.
did the money come in on the 4? When I wrote down the 2-4, it was 96. Wait, 4. So that came in. The 4 definitely came in.
Well, wait till you hear this, Frank. So looking at the pick 3, guess who the favorite is on the pick 3? The 4 at 268. Then we have the 5 at 312. Then we've got the 3 at 390, and the 8 at 449. So the 8 got a sneaky money across the pools, Frank.
Yeah, someone else mentioned that Sean McCarthy horse in the chat. I didn't get to put the comment up because I wanted to do it in this race. Was that one of your horses, Kieran, the 8? I was 3, 4, 5.
I was 5 was my chalk, and then I went 7, 8, 9 as my price plays. And that was, I had, on my multiple tickets, for the all turf, I was all about that 7, 8, 9. Remember how I said earlier, it was 5, it was one of those I was trying to hammer on the pick 3. I mean,
well, speaking of that, I want to come back to the Will Pays in a second. We play so many bets on this because we're all about the low takeout. What are we alive to? Let's get that clarified.
Look at that.
So we're both out of the all turf, right? I think we've established that.
Yes.
I'm guessing you're alive in the late pick 3 and the late double as well. But let's confirm. I'm only alive in the late double. Chris Babcock is alive to the 3, 4, 5, 9. Very nice, 2 times, and then a saver alive to the 5 and the 7. All right, Chris. Nando, what you got? Read your matrix page. I got the feeling you like Bruno quite a bit. Great pick. Todd Schrupp, yeah, well, that's your first mistake, listening to Todd Schrupp. He's a host. He's not a handicapper. He's a host. I've heard him say that on air many, many times.
Frank,
no, we love TDG. No, just joking around.
I think on our pivot bet we have 2-8, a $10 2-8 to the 5. So we've got it twice.
Yeah, I'm going to put that up, the DTL bet here.
And that's paying $140, which is not too shabby for $40. And then we also have
to the 7
$5 double, 2 with the 7.
Oh, that was just 5. Okay, but there's a typo there. Let me correct that.
But I mean, the $5 double to the 7, Frank, is paying $500. Oh no,
it's fine.
$197, which is why we only had to do $5 on that one.
Correct. Yeah, I wasn't sure in the heat of the moment. Because Karen, I mean, this is what we do. It's like horse players, man. You're firing away. You're trying to. All right, so let me make sure I got this right, so everybody knows what to root for. 2-5 we got for $20. 2-7 we got for 5.
Correct.
And what is that coming back? 2-7.
2-7 is coming back at $197.50, Frank.
Yeah, that's really, really good. Here was my double based on the fact that I got whacked out of everything. So I am alive to the 3, 4, 5 4 times. And then that last one is dead. So I'm all about the 3, 4, 5. Kieran, I think you're alive in the late pick 3 and the double. So let's put yours up.
Yes.
Let me hide mine.
So I am alive to the 5 on the pick 3 and the 9 on the pick 3. And on the pick 3, the 5 is paying $312 and the 9 is paying $14.52. Come on, 9.
Where's your? You don't have the 7?
I do not. I've got it on my doubles because remember, that was my kind of spready and my main. Okay. I was all about the 7 in that first leg, and that kind of screwed me. But at least my backup tickets have me with some action on the pick 3.
No, you used the double to cover the ones you couldn't play in the pick 3. So I get it. I just wasn't. So let's say 7, 8, 9 in the double.
Yes.
For 2 times, right? No, you're alive in the double. So hold on, let me start over because I want to write this down. You have a $3 pick 3, alive to the 5 and the 9, right?
Correct.
What are those coming back?
$3 pick 3 to the 5 is $312.
Nice.
And to the 9, it's $1,452.
Wow.
So I'm all about the 9. Come on, JJ. Dude. Come on, JJ.
Yeah, I thought that was a bad morning line. That horse. Well, 11-1 on the tote.
Yeah, it's not really.
JJ and Mullins? I mean, you can't go to it. It's like pretty good.
Like we talked, I mean, the last 3 races they've teamed up, they've won 2 of them. You know what I mean? You got to look at those. I mean, I know it's a small sample size, but trainers, like these big trainers, when they call their guy, you know what I mean?
I'm I got 30 starts, 43%. That's not a small sample size. That's
Well, no,
unbelievable.
I'm looking recently is what usually
No,
what
yeah,
we
but
go.
I'm looking bigger picture. All right, hold on. Don't go off on a tangent. All right, so 5-9 got your pick threes. Now let's look at your doubles. You have 2 with 5. What is that paying? Just tell me
I've
for
got
$5.
I did it for $20,
But
so
tell me for the $5 pay.
say what?
What is the 2-5 paying just for $5?
Oh, for $5, yes. 2 to the 5
I always like to write the
and
base pay on.
$70.
$70, and you have that times 4.
Correct.
Okay. So you're looking at 280 plus 312 if the 5 wins. Not bad. Okay, and now you have
I
the
have a
7.
$10.
Tell me the 9 first. What is the 9? Double to the 9.
The 9 is paying $474.
And you would have that twice.
Correct.
Oh my God, the 9 is your jam. Okay, now let's look at your other 2. The 7 and the 8 you have twice. What is the 7?
197
Times 2. And what's the 8?
114
times 2. Well, you're looking really good no matter what. 9, obviously the best. The problem is, Kieran, actually, it's not a problem because this isn't Frank Lawn. If this were Frank Lawn, you'd be dead in the water. You'd run second to my horses. I have the 3 and the 4 on my tickets, and you don't have those horses.
Yeah, so I just like I said earlier, I had it on a spready ticket if I'd made it out with later than planned in the first leg, but I approached today really wanting to get out of this weekend, and I was like 7, 8, 9 in this last leg are going to be the key to it, and I pressed on the favorite too, the 5, who I thought would be favorite. So that's the plan. And if it didn't, if I come close, I had a shot at some big money, and I'm okay with that. That was the whole way. That's how I mapped it out today.
No, I think it's actually very smart because of the 3 short prices on the morning line, the top 3 choices, you like the 5 the best. So you planted a flag with the 5, and you said, you know what? My price horses aren't that far off the 3 and the 4, and they're going to be short. And
Correct.
You didn't really like them. So, I mean, I think you played it really, really well. I would trade positions with you in a heartbeat. Even though I'm okay if the 3 and the 4 win, but I mean, if I really want that 9 to win for you, man.
I mean, if there's really, one that I'm kind of worried about, it would be the little red feather horse, the 1.
Well, let's see. Did the horse take any money at all? Nick, forensic accountant, we need you to really dig deep and do some studying there. 175 in the double, which is 642, 260.
This looking at the betting, it's all about the 5 and the 4. That's pretty much it. Yeah.
But there was someone sneaky I saw in the pick 5.
The 8 has still continued to slowly take sneaky money, Frank. And that was the one when we looked across on the pools, the pick 3 and the pick on the double. Actually, let's look at the pick 4. Let's see on the pick 4, Frank. The pick 4, the 3 is the favorite in the pick 4. Oh, no, sorry. The 4 is the favorite at 111.
Yep.
Then the 5 at 121.
Correct.
And then the 3 at 168.
So here's the thing, Kieran. The 5 is the favorite in the double over the 4. But the 4 is favorite in the pick 3, the pick 4, and the pick 5. Usually the 3, 4, and 5 numbers are a little more sophisticated than the double pool. But I think that's pretty interesting that we're seeing that. $70 to the 5 to 85. But if you look at the pick 3, 312 to 268. So like it's a big flip flop. And that's, well, I guess because the 4 is 3 to 1 on the morning line. All very, very fascinating. The one who's taking the sneaky money, though, if I'm looking here, let's see. Let's look at the pick 5 because that's always fun.
My one thing, Frank, even though we're getting, Hera on Army Man for McCarthy, and I'm taking the blinkers off because if you look at that last race, that horse was like a rocket. So they're like, yeah, we got to take the blinkers off.
What number are you talking about?
Number 4, Army Man. That horse was just like a rocket last out under Kimura. So they're taking the blinkers off and they get the Lasix juice today. But I thought the fact that Kimura went to the O'Neill firster with the bullet works, and the agent knows, like everyone else, like you do, you don't usually go on an O'Neill horse, debuting, but they must have said something. No, this is or he might, for all we know, be the ones who working the horse out in the morning. You know, there's
I
a lot
was
of that
I
stuff
was
as well.
I was just thinking about that same thing, and I've mentioned this on the show before, because you could go down the rabbit hole trying to play jockey musical chairs, right? But if there's one person who is better than most at figuring out the chess moves that go on behind the scenes, it's you. You're really, really good at it. Sometimes I do it too much to a fault, and
I can do that as well myself.
you can.
It'll talk me off certain horses because, you know.
Yes. But to your point here, Kieran, it is a pretty big deal. McCarthy uses Kimura a lot. They win a lot of races together. For him to be off this horse to go to a first-time starter for O'Neill, going 9 furlongs on the turf in the debut, that's pretty significant. That is a pretty significant. I kind of overlook that because, again, I'm stubborn. See,
And
this
then
is
look
the problem.
at some of the works this 7 has put in. I mean, we don't usually see O'Neill fire 59 best of 23, you know,
and that's on the synth. I mean, that's pretty fast. 5:59 and 4 on the synth is pretty quick.
Yes.
I don't know. Anyone got pedigree stuff out there? I'm looking at DRF. 5 for 26, first time starters. I mean, with first turfer, so 19%. This is the sire. 17% first time starters. On precociousness there. What'd the dam do? I don't know. It's so hard. The horse costs 160. I'm still not convinced, but I will tell you this. You're not wrong to point out how significant it is that Kimura got off a McCarthy horse. McCarthy gives him a ton of live mounts.
And I mean, remember, Kimura was really heating up on Friday, but then it was early in the card and he didn't have any other mounts.
Yeah, he won the first 3, and then I think he said he rode one more, and then he was done for the day.
Yep. So, you know, the phone's ringing for that guy right now. Him and Tiago are getting lots of phone calls just because how they've been riding. But the other one I mentioned too, the one we talked about on the show as well, is Frey. While it does not show up in his win stats, Frank, we've talked about it a lot on the shows. He's been riding very well with the horses that he's gotten, you know, and we've seen that happen when these guys finally start really clicking on decent horses. That was why I like the 8 here, the House of Mischief, Sean McCarthy horse.
Yeah.
It's first time Lasix, you know, the horse fits in here.
Sean McCarthy, I mean, he does a terrific job. Here's the thing, another thing I'm stubborn about. So I talked about first time starters going long on turf. The other thing I'm stubborn about is horses who haven't been able to win against restricted claimers or maiden claimers. I don't care if it's a surface switch or whatever, and the horse stepped up in maiden special weight and ran well. It sticks with me. That tells me that they didn't think that highly of the horse. Also 9 furlongs. I mean, the horse couldn't stay on at a mile, and that was a very slow pace, in my opinion, according to the numbers I use. So I was against that horse, but I'm not here to talk anyone off. Real quick here on Scenic Hill Stable. Thank you for joining us. I am betting on my horse, a Mendel's Tune. Do you own the horse? Did you breed the horse? Do you just like the name? Welcome. If you have any connection to the horse at all, we will 100% root for you. Or if you just like the horse, good luck. I don't think Kieran had that horse on any of his tickets. I know I didn't, but it's tough to get a read on that first race, right?
I mean, there wasn't enough info to go other than, you know, if I was really spreading this race, there'll be times, Frank, when I'm spreading on a ticket and my notes will be because of the jockey, you know what I mean? And this might have been one of those times if I wasn't so certain on what I'd picked that I would have thrown it in just because Tiago's hot. You know what I mean?
If you were like single, of course. And what did we say the other day? Tiago rides more long shots on this circus than anybody else. You got a John Sadler horse at 30-1 on the morning line. When does that happen? Is the horse taking any money? 13-1. Wow. That's pretty significant.
I mean, I'm not one for pedigree, but I mean, the horse cost $110K at auction. Mendelssohn, Scat Daddy, et cetera, et cetera. The stud fee was $35K. So, I mean, it's.
Yeah. And here's the, you know, I love I use DRF Formulator. I use optics. Those are my jams. I also use Racing Flow. Here's the trip note from that debut race. It's actually a little better than it looks on the racing form. Held up behind horses. Subtle trip. The pace setters finished 1-2 together at the wire. There was a minimal change in the running order. So the horse was off slow. Not a great tactical ride by the jockey. The horse did save ground, but the horse had traffic. So can absolutely improve off that race. The optic notes are so good. I know Nick knows that because Emily does Southern California, and she's one of the best trip note takers out there. But anyway, Scenic Hill Stable, thank you for joining us, and good luck. Is there an honor code in here? Because that's Leah. EE has House of Mischief as the most well-bred for the surface and distance. EE, I'm assuming, is the Equine Edge. Kieran, did you look at Equine Edge today? Anything going there?
I did, and they have the 5 winning this one. They have their little medallion that, this is the horse. They have it coming back as 5-4-7. And you usually don't see too often a first-time starter get such a high rating,
No, but I know they have a pretty good pedigree algorithm, right?
Correct. Yes, that's what it is. It's their pedigree. Yes, that's what it is.
Yeah. And I know Ocho, who was on the show yesterday, she's hit a bunch of stuff just using the pedigree plays and whatever the long shot.
And that was the same reason for the last race, Frank. They had the 2 for the exact same reason, and they actually had the 2 dominating like the horse did. So, and they had a little medallion for that as well. So maybe back to back. And I did say earlier in the show, Frank, stat wise, this upcoming race, they've raced it 13 times. 85%. What was that? 11 of the 13 winners, Frank, have been under 5-1.
Yeah, not surprised.
We have 3 horses that meet that criteria. The 4 or 5, but the 8 has taken the sneaky money we saw floating around there. The 8 is down to 9-2 now.
Yeah. And the 6 is 12-1. That's what I said. Like, it's good. I love that race. I don't know. I guess what would you call it? The race predictability stat in terms of, is it a long shot race? Is it, is it a chaos long shot race, or is it a formful race? I agree with you. I'm not surprised that favorites win this race because turf race, classier horses, maidens usually go with the ones with experience against first-time starters, etc. But we talked about this early on in the show. I said, well, who's the favorite? Right? Look at the board: 7-2, 9-2, 9-2, 4-1. The favorite in this race is 7-2. I mean, that's not a strong favorite.
But I mean, to your point as well, Frank, if we just scroll down and look what these horses cost, like the 1, $325 at auction. If we just went off, auction prices, the 2 is a toss, $45K. Then you look at the 3, $225. All right. Like to your point again, the 4, $70K. Okay. I'm going to toss that one because of that. The 5, who we think should be the favorite, $475K.
Yeah, that's meant to be a nice one. But here's the thing with the auction prices. I'm okay with that after one start
yes, I agree.
If the horse, like, let's look at the 2 for a second. I didn't like the 2, but actually, no, the horse didn't cost that auction. That was just a stud fee.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
I won't let that, like the 4 cost $70,000, but the horse has form to go on, right? So I won't use that as much if the horse only had 1 start or no starts. I like the horse because I think Michael McCarthy is just so good at getting to the bottom stamina-wise out of horses. This horse was too sharp for his own good the last 2 times. So what does Michael McCarthy do? One of the best in the business. He takes the blinkers off. Okay. Blinkers off, maybe a jock change. But here's one thing. Here's an old school angle that we haven't talked about on the show yet. Horses had 3 different jockeys. Now the 4th different jockey in 4 starts.
Yeah, that's usually not something
That's a bad sign.
It's usually something you don't like. You'll eventually, and it's not like he's had bad jockeys. They started with Rispoli, who rides
right.
What I mean? Like he's the main guy. Rispoli is his main guy, and his secondary guy now, I guess we'd say, is Kimura, right? I mean,
it's KK for sure. Yeah.
And then at Del Mar, they had Ortiz when he was out here, obviously pick up the mount because
only one of the best in the world.
Yeah, and Rispoli was probably riding, another horse. But then Kimura hops off, and I mean, they took the blinkers off, and Kimura probably said, yeah, this horse was just so loaded, and then had nothing late. Like you gotta take the blinkers off. But then he doesn't stick around. He goes to the first timer. So
yeah, that's an old school angle. I mean, I don't put a lot of stock into it, but when you have a good trainer, I mean, these are all elite jockeys. and nobody wanted to ride the horse back for whatever reason. So that is very, very significant. And if you look at the money the horses on the win pool, I mean, kind of lukewarm at 7-2, considering the money he took in the multis,
Correct,
which I think were just basically based off the morning line. This will be a very, very interesting race. I think there are some talented horses in here. I love long turf races for young horses.
The sneaky one, which started when we started looking at it, the 8 is taking legit money, Frank. Like it is, it's essentially between the 3 and the 4 currently at 24,000 and 23,000, but the 8's at 21. The 8's taking more money than the 3 now. Like this is, come on, 8.
No,
I mean, it knocked me out on my.
You want the 9. You want the 9.
Well, I also have it on my other bets as well. You know what I mean? So, I mean, it's still paying pretty healthy on the doubles.
We only have it 2 times for 114. That's it. Yeah. You want the 9, dude. You want the 9.
Well, if I start saying I want the 8, then maybe the 9 will win. I was logic, Frank. Come on.
Oh, you're using reverse psychology now? Is that what we're resorted to after 3 shows in a row? We're working on who is this turf routing 1 for 38, Dan? I missed the. Hold on, let's see. 7 is starting his career routing. 37 starts turf sprinting side offspring. 50% of the money. So this is Kieran's first time starter he's talking about.
Oh, I don't disagree at all. This was more at the jockey. You know what I mean? That's why usually in the works. But we talked. I mean, his stats are horrible on a move like this, which is why you didn't like him originally, right, Frank? You just said, first time, especially going long.
I will very rarely bet, and no knock against O'Neill, but he's not one of the guys I would put on my short list to win a race on the turf at 9 furlongs with a first time starter. That's not his game usually, so it's very curious to me that this horse shows up here. And I feel even better about not using the horse after Dan H is saying, I believe he's talking about the sire, 1 for 38 in route. So this is probably a fitness race for maybe a downhill race next time. I don't know if we're playing, but look, I would Mandela, Drysdale, Frankel, who's long gone, but the old school trainers I would consider, but it's just not my jam. It's just
another stat for him here. First time Lasix. He's got a positive ROI, only 10% though. I mean,
it's a first time starter. I don't think you can count that stat.
And first time turf starting 10% for a profit though. When they win, they pay.
I'm gonna run a formulator. Doug O'Neill, first time starter going long on the turf. Just a quick question though, Leah. Check the GSR? I don't know what that means.
That's their pedigree number they have there, so I can pull it up. For which race? Which horse?
Oh, the Equine Edge.
Yes.
I don't know. Look at all of them. I mean, look at your horse to start the 7, and then let's look at the Mendelssohn one, Mendel's Tune for our new friend here.
Top GSR is the 8, House of Mischief.
That's what she's referring to. Why twirling candy? All right, they're off. Good luck. Let's go. Woo.
Arise, Sir Knight, this crown I give thee. I accept this great honor, my liege.
All right, I'm unmuted. Oh, Kieran, that's 7 ran.
Great. Like, I mean, it acted green, but
Huge.
ran great though. You could see it in the stretch, ran green, but
I was about to go on the screen and start bowing down. Unfortunately, like we played the jockey musical chair. Well, for you, I hit.
very nice.
Frank hit with his late double.
And it was paying pretty nice, right? The 4 is paying 85 4 times, right? 300.
2 to the 4. Yeah, I played a $20 double. So I mean, dude, the 7 would have been epic for the show because that's.
And then the 5, yeah, that's my one thing with that jockey. You know, that wide move probably sucked the starch out, but man, that 7.
The 7 you mean? The 7 or.
Yeah, the 7.
The 5 stumbled at the start or something, was never really involved. No, the 7, that is a nice horse.
Very nice.
That horse was wide, made the move we talked about yesterday. You cannot win with the wide move around the turn. Like you have to wait and then uncork in the lane or save ground and race covered up. That wasn't the best ride in the world on the 7 there, but that 7 is a very nice horse.
I think you could tell.
And how about the 8? You guys were all over the 8 too. You guys snipped out the 8.
But I mean, the 7 too. You can tell down the horse was acting probably coming down the grandstand side. So that's definitely, if you're putting notes, that is a major upgrade next race out. That 7, Dink, and we won't see anything like that price again.
Well, I don't know. Depends where the horse shows up. Like
maybe
you're going to be 3rd. It's going to be like tired or lugged out or whatever. You just don't know, Kieran. I would love to see this horse down the hill next time. Drawn outside, down the hill, route speed, cutting back. Dan H said it's got sprint pedigree. Like, I'd be all about that, man. House of Mischief ran a very good race, way better than I expected. Army Mule.
I like the tactics that Frey did too. I mean, yeah, why not? Let them come catch you. You know what I mean? Always pulled it off. If the 4 wasn't in there, that would have been a successful strategy there.
If the 4 didn't sneak up the rail, I mean, the 7 and 8 ran. I mean, they ran the best races. Everybody else was nobody else fired. Like everybody else was like, I don't even know. Like, were they that much better, or were the other ones that much worse?
And that's my pet peeve, and we talk about it a lot too, Frank. When they come around that turn and then they just, hey, please come up the rail. The old school jockeys never let that happen. They would block that off, and now they're like, red carpet. Here you go.
Oh my God, there's an inquiry, but not with the word. It drives me nuts, man. Nakatani.
Oh,
you could try it, but you're going to end up in the pond in the infield. Right. I mean, it's not going to I'm not giving up my position.
And they probably stopped doing it because, if anything happens, they'll get in trouble. But
but
before he says anything in a video, we got to play this song for Frank.
The journey's long, but you have won. Your brightest days have just begun.
That's enough of that song.
That is enough of that song. No, Kieran, I'm not saying like you don't intentionally want to, dirty.
No, but I just leave so much room on the rail, and I'm like,
maintain your position.
And whenever they do that, the horse always ends up knocking your horse out.
Maintain your position. That's it. I don't know why they float out. They let the 4 up there. So that's very interesting to me. So even though the 4 won and Kimura hopped off, that the horse that he hopped off for has potential. Like that's a really nice horse. So I'm not saying he chose wrong. Like, it's interesting. He chose wrong because he lost this race, but in the long run, maybe he didn't. That could be a stakes horse that he's on,
Oh, absolutely. I think so too. Yes.
Yeah. Isn't that interesting? And the 8 ran way better than I expected. The other horses we talked about were just no bueno. But we'll go back and watch the replays.
The 5 totally. The inquiry. There's a lot of. Yeah, that was a horrible ride on the 5. That's for sure.
What? Yeah. What are they looking at? It's not with the winner, right?
There was so much bumping, Frank, all around. Like, oh my goodness, into the turn, the 5, the 6. Like, it only involves the 3 and the 2, but they're going head to head, bouncing off each other.
So the top 3 are
top 2
the
top 3 are safe.
So who's on the outside with blinkers there?
5.
The 5 is Rank. Who was the 5? The 5 was our horse.
Yeah, that was our horse. That's just a man, would have been a totally different ride with Rispoli on there, but that's how it is.
I don't know. I think this horse is not like blinkers. Look how rank this thing is. Stumbled, got into the race. Lascano's trying to get him to settle. I don't know. Gelding next time. Bumps in. I'm looking at the drone view. You can see his head. Like, he is so rank.
3 also caused a lot of issues coming out as well.
The 3. Okay, which one's the 3?
3's on
the rail. Okay, let me see.
He's going to start coming out here, and then he's...
No, the horse in white isn't the 3.
Right on the inside rail.
Yeah, okay, I'm looking there.
1 here now, and then the 1's going to cut.
Oh, I see. The 3 had to steady and then move in. Oh, man, because the 4 took position. Oh, this is...
Take the 4 down!
It's possible.
Nah, they're not going to take that 4 down.
No, the 4 had position. The other horse had nowhere to go. Who was on the 3? We always like to deconstruct. It was Barrios. Interesting. Yeah, that was kind of an ugly race. We'll have to see.
I would use Essos again for sure, but 100% different jockey. And I know he's Glatt's guy, but when Glatt was ice cold,
he's Glatt's backup guy. He's the B team.
But when Glatt was really cold down at Del Mar, this dude here was riding a lot of his stuff.
All of them. Yeah, he's the B team.
Not helping at all. You know what I mean?
He's the B team. I don't think this was his fault. What I'd like to see next time is gelding and blinkers back off. This horse did not like the blinkers. Did not like the blinkers at all.
You know who didn't show up? The 9, Saharan. Nowhere. Nothing from that Mullins JJ horse at all.
But it was 16-1, though. Didn't take the money, you know. I'm surprised that horse was so cold on the board. I think that told the story. But early on, I remember Frank saying that he was so far back. That's what I mean. Like, nobody was actually in the race. It's so weird. But maybe again, all that bumping really knocked the starch out of some of the horses.
Yeah, the pick 5 and pick 4 money were correct, making that 4 the favorite, Frank, and the pick 3. So that money flowed.
If you follow the matrix on the Santa Anita website, my A's were the 3, 4, and 5. Here's what I said about Army Man. Has shown speed but no stamina, so of course Michael McCarthy removes the hood today in an effort to get this guy to relax. And that's the perfect move for this spot, because last time this guy had to go from the 10 hole, 2 back he had to go from the 1 hole. From this post he has options. I mean, that's it.
Yeah, I mean, I could have had him on a spread ticket, Frank, but I did the jockey, roulette, moving chairs, and followed.
You know what, Kieran? I think in the long run, I think you and Kimura are probably right. I think the 7 is probably a better horse. Not going 9 furlong. I think the 7 could win a lot of races down the hill. I really do. That was an incredible race for a first-time starter going on. It was wide, made a huge move. Like, around the turn, I'm like, oh, my God. Kieran, like.
What Nick's point here, Frank, that he said that too when we looked at the race replay. You know who the 5 reminds me of? Our horse that ended up getting sold for $5,000 in Riley. That was the same kind of antics that horse did as well. Rank down the stretch and all sorts of nonsense.
And you guys sent that horse to Graham Motion. And Graham Motion is like,
he gave up on it. Yep.
And he's one of the best horsemen in the history of the sport. And if he couldn't tame the wild beast, he was like,
she's crazy. She's crazy. Run.
Yeah, you guys tried everything, because in her debut, right? She really showed.
She was going to go race at Royal Ascot.
And then she just went crazy.
Yeah. But that was like that. She came from Jessica Harrington, and I talked about it on the show. That's one of those trainers from Ireland I avoid and fade every horse that comes out of that stable.
So that was a Harrington horse. Interesting. Correct. Very interesting. All right, so order of finish 4, 7, 8, Hats off to Kieran for sniffing out that 7. Hats off to everyone in the chat for talking about the 8 and the pedigree.
Well, now we got the will pays. We can actually show people again how much extra you get paid. Not doing the win parlay. You want to start on the pick 3 as usual?
But before you do that, Karen, let me just run through the comments because I feel like that's a race we should take something out of going forward, right?
Oh, absolutely. You should be making lots of notes on this race. And I think one of my notes, like my notes on the 5, would be maybe if a big-time jockey came on, but that's going to be a probable toss now.
Yeah, no, I'm with Jay. I'm with Jay. That horse needs to be gelded, and the blinkers need to come off. And the horse still might not be any good, but I think Jay is right. I think we're all right about that horse. Blatt put the blinkers on for a reason, and the horse was even worse. It was a brat.
Yes. And the 7, absolutely a fantastic upgrade. That's a horse you need to watch. And the 8 as well. Could you imagine that 8 like cutting back just a little bit now, Frank, and using that early speed and just come catch me?
Yes and no, though. I kind of feel like the 8 lacks a little bit of class because, again, and maybe I'm being stubborn, this horse had to debut in a maiden optional claimer twice. Granted, it was on dirt, has run well twice on turf, but kind of had a perfect setup both times and still didn't win. Maybe on a drop or something. I'm not interested in the 8 going forward. If I'm taking one horse out of this race, Karen, I'm taking your 7.
If you
take your 7 all day long.
I will say,
I think Kimura's like, he's like, damn, I missed the win, but he's like, I might get 3 stakes wins out of this horse down the road, right?
And that's probably why his, agent put him on, and they probably told him, no, we got a big chance with this horse,
Yeah.
And for all we know, he's probably working the horse out in the morning as well. I mean, that's where a lot of the business is done in the mornings. The guys who hustle and come and ride these horses for the trainers, they don't get paid for it. People don't realize that these guys don't get paid for doing that. They show up.
I think they get like $10 a mount or something. It's ridiculous. All right, I have about 470 subscribers. Kieran only picked up 2.
Woohoo! We're almost at the 500 mark.
Yeah, Leah said the 5 was a lunatic. Agreed. Gelding, blinkers off, and that still might not be the difference. Nice race by the 4. Nando, thanks for joining us. 4-7 exacted, $90 for a deuce. Nice. And one last thing, the top 3 horses at the first call complete the trial. Kieran, Jay, thank you for your comments. Really, really sharp. I don't know if you were on the show 2 days ago, but Kieran mentioned this actually. He was up there on Friday, and he said, we might not see it today or tomorrow, but there was rain and there was moisture in the track, and typically when that happens, it starts to favor speed. So keep an eye out for that. And look at Jay's point. Turf is favoring speed right now. 3 horses at the first call completed the try. So
we're back to the heater weather. So when we roll around here next Friday, Frank, that bias will probably
it'll change, but I mean, you pointed that out. What do I say, Karen? The best time to get on a trend is before it's a trend.
Yes.
All right, let's do what we like to do. One thing real quick. Let me just put up that. All right, we're doing the win parlay first, or you want to do the pools first?
We can do the win parlay.
All right.
I guess you didn't stream to my X channel, Frank.
I know. I accidentally set it up for the DTL, which is not premium, so it didn't go there. I'm going to upgrade that to premium, and I wanted to do it during the show to put it on.
People don't realize y'all don't get paid for it.
But I didn't want to mess up the stream, so my apologies. You'll just have to retweet it.
All right, you ready? Pick 3 first?
Yeah, let me go. Hold on. Okay. Calculate. $3 win parlay for horses that paid. Go ahead, man.
$11.
Yep.
$5.60.
Yep.
And $10.80.
It's a pretty decent prices.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember who won the first. My brain is so fried.
That was the JJ, the Baffert Turfer.
Baffert Turfer, and then who won the second leg was Berlin Wall.
Yeah.
And then the 4. Okay. $249.48.
$268.20.
Yeah.
It was a little light, but that's because people doing the morning line chalk. probably had that. The
Yeah,
double.
remember we said Nick even mentioned it too. Even though the Baffert went off at 9-2, the horse was the 9-5 favorite. So I think a lot
Now,
of people
if
were
that
scared
four
to get
had-
knocked out.
If the 4 hadn't have won, we saw in some of my pays on the other horses, they were exponentially better than what they would have been. I think, it's just, if the 8 or 7 had come in, they would have paid a lot more. All right, you ready for the double?
Okay, yeah. Cow $5 with horses that paid. Yeah, can you tell me them again? 560
560 and
and
1080.
1080.
Yep.
$75.60.
It paid 85. That's the difference on the take.
That's the takeout.
And
Very
even though-
logical. I mean, let's look at the morning lines right here. I mean, a lot of people.
Yes.
I'm not saying they're lazy, but a lot of people are lazy and they just bet off the morning line. So leg 1, the Baffert 9-5 favorite. Yeah, we'll throw him in. Okay. Second leg, Berlin Wall 3-1. I think the horse was the morning line favorite. If not, should have been and went off favored. So again, morning line favorite. And then in the nightcap, Army Man was 3-1. Morning line favorite. 3 morning line favorites still paid more than the parlay.
And then Frank, we actually forgot to do it when we forgot to look at the will pays for the all turf just because we got knocked out when we forgot. But looking at before going into that race, the 5 was the favorite at 132.60, Frank, and the 4 was the next closest at 144. So all the pools essentially had 4 up there.
So wait, what did the all turf pay?
It paid $144.
All right, before we go to there, let's look at the pools. All right, let's see. Pool sizes, because we want to give the DTL crew credit for showing up and supporting high minimum, low takeout wagers that are player friendly. Give guys and gals like us a chance to go old school and actually make money at the racetrack and get great value. So today's double pool, Kieran, over or under 195?
Because of how people, I don't know. I'm going to say under, Frank.
183. Good call. Still really good though.
Yeah, I mean, what was
the
last
$2
year?
doubles were probably doing like 80,000.
Last year was 107, Frank, on the double, up 80%.
Really?
Yep. All right, what's the pick 3?
$3 pick 3 pool, 223,000.
106 last year, Frank, up 90 something percent.
Yeah.
All right, all turf. Do you have that number?
We'll go back to that at the end. Let's look at the pick 4 because I got to go to a different screen. Pick 4. Actually, the pick 4 did a little healthier today than usual. Probably a good sequence. So the pick 4 pool was 376.
311 last year. So yeah, there was growth there.
376 to 311.
Yep.
Okay, that's good. I don't want to see the pick 4 pool get cannibalized too much, but at the same time, something needs to be done about that. That used to be the best bet in racing. It went from being the best bet in racing to arguably the worst bet in racing because of the 50-cent minimum.
Yeah, they're just able to hammer every combo. Like some of my biggest wins were on pick 4s. And even when I connect on the first leg of a sequence with a 25-1 shot, it's still only paying a couple of $100 at the end.
Karen, we talked about this off camera the other day. Like me and 2 of my friends, back when it was $1, we hit a pick 4. There was a 6-5 in the last leg, ridden by Patrick Valenzuela. That tells you how far back we're going. We had to survive an inquiry to the 6-5 favorite in the last leg. We hit for 37,000. When was the last time you saw a pick 4 pay 30? That same pick 4 would have paid $370 today.
Yeah, I think
one more, the pick 5 pool.
Pick 5.
Wow, less than the pick 4, 359.
It was 384 last year. 50-cent one, right? Well, you know why, Frank? remember we had all those different carryovers to coast and all that stuff today. So people were
Yeah, well,
probably
you know what? We'll look at those pools too, maybe. Pick six though, healthy because it was a carryover, right? 349. So I think that's why the other pools were diminished a little bit
yes.
because the money showed up in the pick six. But you know which pools weren't diminished? The
Double.
late double and the late pick three because
Yeah, but
DTL Crew.
I already have the all turf number, Frank. So
Okay.
all turf this year, 64,000. All turf last year, Frank, 16,900. Triple.
Okay, start over. Say that again.
Last
What?
year it was 16,900 for the all turf. This year it was almost 65,000. So
Are you
triple.
kidding me? 16,000?
Yep.
And what did it pay? What was the winning combo?
Pay last year was $58.
No. What did it pay this year? Because I mean, neither one of us got it. But
144.
can we do the parlay on that? If you have the numbers, do you mind?
Yeah. Let's see.
Oh my
So
God.
race 5, you had a $4.20 winner. You know, that also probably diminished it too because we had the scratch a surf song, you know, and the favorite one. So that probably diluted the pay on the. We've seen that actually happen a couple of times on the all turf so far, Frank. You know, the chalk wins and there's a scratch and people get it. So we got paid 12. Oh, sorry. You ready for the first leg? 420. With 11.
Sorry, I'm on mute. Sorry, hold on. I'm trying to get Terry to come out here because I have a question for her, but she's ignoring me. Okay, hold on. Leg one was the chalk, right? So what was it?
420.
420. Okay.
$11.
11 and what?
$10.80.
How much?
1080.
1080. Can I get $3 win parlay? Hold on. With horses that paid. $187.11.
It paid less.
What did it pay? What did it pay?
144.
144. First time we've seen that. That's very interesting.
But I think it's because there was that scratch that I didn't even notice, you know, because I'd put my bets in earlier too with Surf Song.
You're right. Everybody got the favorite.
Everyone had the favorite. So I think it cut it in half. So
you're right. Everybody got the favorite there because that the horse that got scratched
was
took a lot of money.
Yo,
Yeah.
that was I really like that one too as a good backup for it too.
That's a good point. So we can't really compare that. But you know what we can compare? We can compare the pool sizes. DTL Crew, we cannot thank you guys enough. We are fighting the good fight. Retail horse players, Santa Anita is the place to play. $3 all turf, $3 late pick three, $5 late double, 15% takeout. If we didn't have to do a 6-hour show, we'd also cover the coast to coast, which is also a low takeout, 15% bet, races from Gulfstream Park and Santa Anita. And we do the $1 sunset, the last 3 at Gulfstream and the last 3 at Santa Anita. But we'd have to go on at like noon, and nobody wants to hear me and Kieran talk for like 6 hours. I know I don't want to hear him talk for 6 hours.
I mean, Friday, Saturday, Sunday show. I don't know about you, but I want to go to sleep for a couple of days, right?
Kieran, I'm ready. I am ready. You know me. I put the do not. As soon as the show's over on Sunday, I put the do not disturb sign up until Wednesday morning. Real quick, Nick, if you're still listening, Nick, do you know if Oaklawn is bringing back the low takeout wagers, or do they have a revised wagering menu for this new meet that they're doing? Are you going to their tournament? Have you heard anything about it? I think it's probably the worst promoted tournament ever.
Yep.
I know a lot of people are trying to help them out, and they're just, I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But if you know any info about that, let us know because we're all about the low takeout wagers, right? All right, Kieran. You played really well today. I'm not trying to be patronizing or anything. I got lucky. I don't say I got lucky. I played my double, but I mean, I hit for a little bit, and that's great. I hope everybody made a little bit of money, but I mean, you were up to bat for stacks.
And that was, I mean, the plan was, the favorite who ended up being a crappy favorite, but also the long shots ran big. They just didn't have enough. I'm okay with that. I had a chance for some big paydays today, especially, I mean, if that even 8 had won, that was paying pretty handsomely as well.
They were all playing good. Even with the chalk, you had the double 4 times. You had the pick 3. The 9, I mean, you were looking at 1,400 in the pick 3 and 2 times in the double, paying 474. You had the 7 who ran a monster race. You had the pick 3 twice at 200. I've been 400 plus the double. I mean, like, you were all over it.
The capping was there, and just a little bit of better racing luck. A better trip on the horse, the rail not opening. But that's what racing's all about. I mean, geez, when it was Franklin was rolling around, the amount of seconds and photos I'd lost. You know what I mean? But that's how it is. It goes in streaks. You just when the streaks hit, you got to know to hop on them.
Yeah, I mean, look. We talked about this. You're Irish. You grew up around green, lush land. You grew up with only turf racing. There was no synthetic back then. You probably didn't know what a dirt track was until you came to America.
Yeah.
So Oakland has no turf racing. So of course,
that's it. And it's not just manicured turf. It's the field. I'm going to
say you struggled at Oakland, but you really didn't. I mean, you were unlucky. You were very unlucky. I gave you a lot of guff at Oakland because I was winning and you weren't, but your horses were right there. But now we get back to Santa Anita Park. That's your bread and butter. We've got great turf racing, king of the all turf. Just real quick, Nick Sieber says it's going to be the same wagering menu. Great. How about this? And Nick is a tournament guy. The Oakland Park, way too expensive for a tournament. And wow, okay, that's interesting. It sounds to me like, well, I'm glad that they're doing a tournament because I always like to see places reward players, but you got to do it right, man. You got to do it right.
I mean, when I first heard about it, when we were doing Franklin, I was like, oh, and they're doing a tournament as well because Steve-O, had been trying to get Oakland to do a tournament for forever. But then I looked for information. I'm like,
couldn't find
the feeders. How do I go there? Your casino's full. Like, how am I going to get out there? And I was like, and then they ended up putting it out a week or two ago. I'm like, yeah, no thanks.
They should have been doing the whole meet. They should have been doing feeders the first meet. They're just starting now, and anyway, you know what? It's above my pay grade. 1 second. All right, guys, we got to wrap this up. Tippy wants us to work. Put money in that tip jar. We will sing for our supper for sure. All right, we're gonna end this. Good luck, show. Cody, I think you're a new commentator. I'm gonna end the show on you. Kieran, any final thoughts?
Hang on. Frank hit the leg double. News at 6. I better make sure to do this again because I made that mistake.
You made it through. The world now celebrates with you.
Good night, everybody.
Tough race. Let's phone a friend. Yes, Radar Rob.